The evolution of the soul is the evolution of consciousness from a dull, covered material consciousness. I am the body. This world's my home. I'm the enjoyer. I can be happy here, and on and on. See? To an awareness of, I'm not the body, I'm spirit soul. And I began to direct my mind and I direct my body to facilitate my evolution spiritually. You see. In material life, I'm the servant of my mind and my senses. They tell me what I'm going to do in my life. See, the senses tell me very clearly, you're going to eat this. Why? Because the tongue wants it. Oh, I want a pizza. So what? I go get a pizza. See? Okay, the tongue brought me to the pizza house. You know. Oh, you're going to watch this movie. The mind says, I want to watch this movie. Okay, we're going to go watch this movie. I want this. The mind and the senses take us wherever they do. You see. And it always leads in a disappointment, a frustration. Yes, it was really good, but wasn't quite perfect. You see, we're always look. I surfed for so many years. It was my total life, and we were always looking for the perfect wave, but I never found it. No perfection. You see, there is no perfection. There is no perfect wave. See, that one was so perfect, but the next one might be more perfect. You see, because it didn't fulfill. Interesting story. A friend of mine, you know, I met him years later than this happened. But he was a surfer in Australia. So one time he and his friend took a surfing trip, and this was long ago, you know, when all the good spots hadn't been discovered yet, and now they, you know, go in by boat. And I mean, this was back in the beginning days. So they went on a surfing safari, so to speak, looking for the perfect wave. They left Australia and they went up to Indonesia, to Bali, and in Indonesia. Amazing surf in Indonesia and stuff. Now everybody knows that it surfs. But then nobody knew. And they went, but everywhere they went, something was wrong. The waves weren't there, the currents were wrong, the wind was wrong, something was wrong, because in surfing it takes a lot of conditions to come together at one time, the swell and the wind and the currents and the swell direct, all kinds of things, before it becomes the best. Well, just before he left Australia, someone gave him a Bhagavad Gita to read, which is our main Vedic text of yoga that we read. And this is like the Bible of yoga, Bhagavad Gita. So somewhere along the line, I mean, as he left Australia, somebody said, here, take this with you. So he was reading a little bit, you know, here and there as he's going along, traveling. He got a lot of time, sometime you travel. And so he was hearing this message of yoga, you know. The material world's not really going to do it for your spirit, soul, kind of thing. So anyway, he goes and they finally get to Sri Lanka, you know. Nobody that they knew of had ever been surfing in Sri Lanka. I mean, like I say, this was a long time ago. And they started asking around to some of the locals along the different beaches where they could find some perfect surf. And some guys told him, you go to this place, and it was really a remote place, and they had to travel somewhere to get there. And they finally got to this place, and sure enough, the waves were absolutely wonderful, perfect, I mean, like the best. And they went, yes, we did it, we finally found it, you know. And all along, remember, he's been reading this Bhagavad Gita, you see. So as a surfer, you always watch the surf for a while to see where the best breaks are, where it breaks exactly, and how the reef is, and all these different things. You read the surf. So they were watching and watching to see how everything was. You know, and as they were watching, they saw a fin and went, not good. Then they looked. And the place was full of sharks. I mean, everywhere. They said there was so many sharks out there, they couldn't believe it, you know. And there it was, the perfect surf, nobody around. Maybe they were the first people ever been there, and it's full of sharks. And my friend said, that's it. I'm finished. Boom. He went back and got very involved in yoga. He said, I know where Bhagavad Gita told me. Now I understand, you see. Not that he quit surfing, but it wasn't his life anymore. You see, now he had another direction in life. So the yoga path is an amazing path.